Yeah, well, this is my exhibition that I worked so hard on, and I've always been working with dolls for a really long time since I was an undergraduate, but it all started with my favorite professor, Dr. Sherry Fell-Reset's class. And I remember she asked us to go and find something in a souvenir shop. And I found this doll, and her little feet were nailed to a block of wood. But I thought she was so cute because her eyes opened and closed, which was really rare. But I always found there was always something physically wrong with these dolls. Like some of them never open their eyes. Like we have this one here, and she has nearly a replica of my doll regalia. And I noticed that the dolls, I call them good little Indians because she's everything that the colonizer wants her to be, but she's not real. But she's everything that the colonizer loves. So I decided to take it to a whole other level and actually become a doll and wear this doll regalia, just doing my regular everyday routine, just being Jobena as this doll. And it was really fun because I thought everybody was going to be weird, or they were going to think I was weird. But actually they said, oh, I love your beadwork. It's so beautiful. And this one guy was like, I don't know what this is, but I like it. I think it's nice. And we just laughed. And I thought it was so funny. But I had a really wonderful time making this work. And also, I also went to Indian Day School in 1984, which isn't miles away. And there's a picture just over there of me when I was 4 years old. I was named the Indigenous Child of the Year, and my mom says they picked me because I was the cutest kid they had in the school. So they picked me, and this is not our traditional clothing. I'm wearing a turkey feather in my hair. So I've been a doll for all my life, and I think that's it. These kind of identities that are created through the colonial gaze. And when you think about souvenir shops, they're not just selling you something as a commodity. They're selling an idea. They're selling it to people because I remember from my own personal experience moving to the city, going to CEGEP, then doing undergrad, and then doing grad school years later. And I always found it interesting when people would say, oh, I didn't know you were that. And I was like, what is that supposed to mean? And it's because we don't resemble the imagery that's seen in pop culture. And I believe that it's done on purpose. It's a thing that's done on purpose to erase our people and give us histories that do not belong to us. And they used religion to justify genocide and say this is okay because you're an animal, you're a subhuman. And they made it that way, they infantilized us. So using these dolls, which is like, it's innocent, it's a toy. It's a child's toy, and there's a lot of, I never owned any of these dolls, but some people I know have owned these dolls, and they're very damaging. So I decided to redress the idea of the Indian doll and authenticate the history from my point of view, my own personal experiences, and telling it from my story. And I never speak for my people because I know a well-meaning non-native woman, she says, oh, Jobena, you're gonna really like represent your people. And I'm like, no, I don't do that. Because for a very long time, people who were not Indigenous, academic scholars and artists, were telling our stories for us. So my goal as an artist is to take these dolls and retell a story and give them dignity and make them beautiful clothing. And also their attire, like beads are not Indigenous, but we adopted them. And I used fabric, I used vinyl. I even beaded on vinyl on the moccasins because I wanted to add something that didn't belong there. And I also use a lot of medicine in my work with the cedar and the Labrador tea. When those two medicines are boiled together, you create a natural antidepressant. So in all of my shows that I have ever done as solos, I've always included medicine in my installations because I believe we need healing. And when I talk about the church, I'm not saying anything. I'm not attacking the church. What I'm doing is merely reporting what I see because I'm a storyteller. I don't disrespect the church. I don't go to church. I'm a believer, but I don't go to church because we don't need church. Church is just a building. So I've seen a lot of my beadwork. I've used crosses because I'm telling people something. And I'm telling them that I'm a believer. And if the colonizers were really believers and they really knew God, they wouldn't have done that to us or anyone else to begin with. So this exhibition is centered around this. I chose a funerary approach to it because this is something that I wish would die. So that's my reasoning behind everything that I did all year. So that's it. Yeah.